And hello, folks. We are over to the next part of our anger series, and this is a podcast summary of how to get your anger under control with Dr. Chip Tafarate. And also, this podcast is from The Art of Manliness, just like the previous one. As per always, if you can't see the notes I'm looking at or reading and you want to read them, the original episode is on Spotify, so you can follow the links below, or you can go to Spotify and look for it. So let's get down to it. Anger is the forgotten emotion. Anger and aggression are different. Anger is internal. Aggression is action and can be done just for survival without getting angry. Most people get angry regularly, but they will not have the response of aggression. They won't act it out. Anger in different parts of the spectrum can also be helpful. It can give you passion and other good things. And I've included a snip of a separate blog post I have where they're showing a spectrum of anger to anxiety. And you have rage, you get PO'd, so pissed off, annoyance, bored is a kind of anger, you're cautious, that's getting more into anxiety now. I think we've already talked about it in a previous one, the other side of anger, where they talk about how other cultures have regretful anger, anger of love, and passionate angers and things like that. Anger may have its place, but ask yourself what good came out of it when you got angry to live a better life. Well, the last few times you got angry, just ask yourself, did anything good come out of it? How much good came out of it for you to live a better life? Get off autopilot when getting angry. Ask where it's taking you and what solutions and strategies you can put in place to drive it. We'll get to the tracker soon anyway to get it down. Be aware of advice from wrong people, like unqualified coaches, especially when it comes to venting. What you repeat in practice becomes more permanent in your lives. You may feel good at the moment, but you will not learn to improve yourself in similar situations. Way back in high school, when I used to get angry, I used to break things. I used to throw tantrums. I had a very good friend, a roommate. Before he got angry, he would do to let people know he's getting angry. And once he got to the point, he had to break a glass. He had to break something, and then he had to, and we had to make him clean it up. So it wasn't very helpful. So that's what he practiced. That's what he was used to show and express it. You may feel good in the moment, but you will not learn to improve yourself in similar situations. Avoid fuzzy philosophical conversations, endless complaining, or victimhood. Endless complaining, that was a big one for me, like back when I used to have a chip on my shoulder and in my victimhood. Anger emerges in a predictable sequence, so examine it. And my note over there, use my Excel sheet below with the date, trigger, expression, intensity, duration, frequency, or last incident, the language, because I wanted to get a hold of my language also, and solutions. You can ask what autopilot behavior happened and what was the outcome. Then you can find the right strategy and technique to get the different variables in control. So let's have a look at my anger tracker so you can know how you can use it. And I haven't used it in so long, but you have your date when it happened. What was the trigger? What has been building up before that trigger happened? What were you feeling? Were you feeling lonely? Were you feeling not supported, unloved, self-critical, so many things? And then that trigger was that last straw that broke the camel's back. In this case, the example is the guy cut me off. What was your expression? Did you break things? Did you throw a tantrum? Did you get aggressive? Did you swear? How strong was your reaction? So there's the strength, and then the next one is the duration. So in my case, sometimes my strength of my reaction is like 10 out of 10, but the intensity is like 30 seconds because once I let it out, I'm just like, oh, okay, I've let it out, so it's over. Or I get regretful and quickly stop. And the two main things you can do is put some distance, and the other one is don't react. Just don't keep it on the table. So that's the duration, your frequency. How often do you get angry with that same trigger? Once you start filling this out, you'll start seeing a pattern. There are certain triggers, 4 or 5 triggers that usually get you to express it. Usually, when the trigger happens, a lot of us know how to acknowledge, yeah, we get angry, but we're not expressing it. We're just going to brush it off. So slowly you'll get over that. Swearing is my little one. You can customize that how you want. And solutions is you taking 100% responsibility even if it's that other person's fault. Why did you let them get you there? What needs to be done to stop anybody else having the power to make you express or get triggered? So that's the tracker. Hopefully you will find it useful. And this video just shows you how to use the tracker, which I've just told you anyway. Now, angry people usually have multiple life problems and or not taking care of themselves. In the previous videos, I've already showed you two charts. One is a pie chart which shows you before anger happens, you have all these things I've already talked about, or the iceberg of anger. Before the anger, the top bit, what is underneath. Think of it like if there is dry material around the house, then there is a bigger likelihood of the fires being wilder than they need to be. And this is such a big one. I have trimmed so much out of my life. I would rather not be in certain people's presence. I will rather not watch certain things, listen to things, so much like that. I've taken it away from me. My big one, which I've told you in so many of my previous videos, is me getting sucked into the feed of all this rage bait. So I'm trying to figure that one out. I've I've nearly figured my whole car one out. Actually, I'm 99% there, so I'm very happy that I've done the car one. Now my next one is the social media, where I want to take out the dry material. What is the dry material? Look at your lifestyle, from lack of sleep, alcohol use, etc. Substance abuse is a big one. And my note over there is so is coffee. Caffeine increases anxiety, which is connected to anger or getting triggered. And when we go to our spiritual retreats, we are told to stop these kinds of stimulants, tea, coffee, chocolate, cigarettes, as they are tamasic. And tamasic are not useful for when you're getting into spiritual kind of practices, chilled, more relaxed, all that. It doesn't mean these things are bad. Coffee is very good in the mornings. Nicotine is very good. I take nicotine spray. It helps your cognitive function. Even chilies, we are told to stop during spirituality. But chilies, onions, they make you more active. You'll see a lot of these tradie guys, they like eating, chewing tobacco or smoking and things that keep them up. Right now it's energy drinks, which is really bad, but that's what helps them, so they use it. They are just useful for specific times and situations. So remember that. I can't remember if it's Tim Ferriss who talks about it, about the half-life of coffee. Coffee especially, like I stick to one. If I have two, I know when my last one should be, which is way, way, way before lunch because of its half-life. But anyway, so that's coffee anyway. Anger is equal opportunity and gender is not a variable. Men just end up creating a bigger destruction because of their strength. You do not need to confront every injustice. Let go of the small things. I used to get in so much trouble trying to be a hero for other people who didn't want me to be their hero, or they were happy being the victim, like that was their cycle that they were happy in. Man, I got in trouble. Things that get worse over time need to be addressed. And this is the thing, like you have to nip it in the bud and see where the root of it is. Limit contact with toxic people or use a thoughtful email so you don't have to respond in that moment. Now, first of all, toxic people, you should already know this. And if you don't, just start getting distance from them. Especially when you know they're going to behave a certain way, just keep them away. In yoga, they say like be friendly towards people who do good deeds, be supportive to people who are happy, avoid people who do wrong, and if you can't avoid them, just ignore what they're doing. Just act like they haven't done what you've just seen them do, which is bad. But that's in Patanjali Yoga Sutras. I don't know if I should keep it here. I don't think I will. So my other note there is when I get angry and I want to address something, I will write an email. I'll dump everything in there. Then slowly I start sculpting or cutting the fat, trimming it, sculpting it into a precise sword. And I'll be like, okay, these bits of the meat was useless. They were angry. It was about them. It wasn't about me. Don't need to address that. But the behavior of them crossing my boundary, I need to address that. How am I going to address this? Where am I going to keep healthy doors and windows instead of walls and holes? So that's boundaries. But that's a separate subject. Look it up on my blog. It's very important. But yeah, so slowly I'll keep cutting until it is a perfect masterpiece. I think I've talked about it here. Yeah, so I just leave it. A lot of the times, after all that sculpting, I don't even need to use it and either store it as a masterpiece or destroy it after thanking it for helping me. So a lot of these times, so many more times than not, after I've typed it, I've cleaned it up, then I've tried to put it in a positive way, then I've taken 100% responsibility. So every time I go through it, I'm just trying to see which part is useful anymore, which part do I still need to hold on to, stuff like that. At the end of it, I'm just like, oh, I don't need to now. I don't know if I talk about it in this one, but even psychologists say if something bothers you more than 6 months, then you really need to knuckle down, get it out there, and do it in a healthy way. And if you want help with that, there is a couple of blog posts there in my blog, parasuniversal.com, which talks about dealing with difficult people or having difficult conversations. So you can use those. Next, what are you saying to yourself when you are triggered? Try writing what your rule book would be if you had to explain to an alien of how you get angry. Your rules could be things like I jump to conclusions with others' actions and behaviors. I get emotionally shook by what clothes other people wear, what food they put on the plate. People need to act the way I want them to. I treat every trivial challenge as a big life setback. So write those, these are your triggers. This is what you're telling the alien is what triggers me. And that way you understand yourself. And when you use my tracker, you'll get a better idea of where you're doing it. The next one is stop awfulizing. Everything doesn't suck or is not there to ruin your life. So don't awfulize everything. If you are someone who likes to look for injustices, you can practice forgiveness in everyday situations. And my note is, or find better things like helping the planet or and take action on those. Like just think about it. There's so many more bigger things or bigger causes you could fight for instead of your little injustice of this guy cut in front of me. That's mine, my car one again. Here, someone cuts you off, wish them well, and carry on enjoying your drive. And that's why I have a sticker on mine. And recently, I've also been affirming to myself in the car that my energy is sacred, or my energy is sacred to me. But the sticker says, I choose peace. If you look for malicious intent towards you, then look for good intention instead. They must care about you, so they're doing something that doesn't make sense at that moment. Imagine, like, a lot of us, we get upset with our parents because they're telling us how to live our lives and things like that, but they're doing it because they care. Just think about it that way. Like they're not doing it because they hate you. Exposure therapy or practice, like watching a scary movie 10 times to get desensitized to it. Spend some time thinking about anger triggering situations and practice breathing or mindsets after. Transfer it to real life so you can put it into live practice. Now, this one, there is a, rally drivers, they're told when they're about to get in an accident, look at where they want to go, don't look at where you want to avoid the accident. Oh no, the car is there, so go on that side. And one of my friends, he had such good reflexes because he was about to bang into this car and he just released the brake enough to turn this way and got on the curb or other side. So I keep thinking the same to myself. I'm just like, if this car stops faster, if that car goes this way, like that guy is so close to me that if something happens and if I were to brake, I'm going to practice and go on this side. So yeah, that is that. This one was very quick and short. Lastly, please do support me. Just a quick summary. This link takes you to my personal stories. This is the blog posts I shared. These self-help and anger and all that NLP stuff. I send a monthly email of all the posts I've done for the month, whether it's the blog posts, videos, merchandise, whatever it is, you can find it there. You can support me in all these links, and then you can get $25 worth of free Bitcoin on this link. You can buy me a coffee if you want to support me. You can use the link to buy things on Amazon, and that way I get it like a few cents. My merchandise, I sell t-shirts and design things. So if you have a request for some kind of design, you can always ask me there. And join school. I've just joined school. I don't know what it's about so far, but if you want to start a business or I guess start a community, that's a good one. And there you have it, folks. I shall see you in the next one.